Morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my vacation little mobile setup here. Sat on the sofa with today a glass of Coke. We're talking about live trading today, making $500 a day, and that's what I've been doing since I've been on vacation. And I'm going to share with you how I'm going to do it live right now with you. So, cheers, everybody. Nice. So, what we're going to talk about now is my live trading strategy that I'm doing while sitting here talking to you live, and I'm going to share it all with you. Now, as you know, essentially, I'm a long-term investor, but there's nothing wrong with trading at the same time. It's difficult to trade live when I'm doing the shows and running everything and answering everyone's questions. Well, now is the perfect opportunity for me to trade live because I'm on vacation and I'm sat here looking out of the window at the garden and I can make $500 a day quite easily. But I'm going to explain the full process of it and give a warning. It's not for everyone. It's not what everyone should be doing. I'm not recommending this to anyone, but this is my strategy. I'm going to break it all down exactly how I'm doing it live. I've got my finger on the button again for my next trade. I'll just bring up the chart that I'm looking at. I'm just looking at a very basic thing here on my iPad. Very simple, very basic. It's all it needs. Doesn't need to be complicated. And I'm looking at making $500 a day. I'm on the way to doing it virtually there again today. I was yesterday. So I want to put a warning out and first of all say that I couldn't have done this 3 years ago. I am essentially a long-term investor. I know my goals. I know my objectives. I know I want to get to $1 million by the end of the decade. That's it. But most importantly, I'm here to entertain, educate, and have a great relationship with my live audience. That's why I do this. But at the end of the day, if I can make free money, then I will. It's very, very easy to do so. It's very easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. So I'm going to break down to you now what I'm doing live right now, sitting here, how I'm doing it, how I'm making $500 a day, and for the purpose of no more than sharing it with you. And if it helps you in any way, well, that's great, but it's not financial advice. If I could ask everyone to tap the like button, that'd be really great up the top. We've got 46 watching and 6 likes. If we can get everyone to like, that would be really, really great. So, first of all, if you're going to trade, you need to ask yourselves a few questions. First of all, what is your goal? What are your objectives? Well, for me, my goal is to become financially independent, reach $1 million by the end of the decade. Okay. Do you have income? Yes, I have income coming in. My job is YouTube, so I have money coming in. Okay. Do you understand how the stock market works? Do you follow the news every day? Are you reading all the information? Understanding that it's not a level playing field. It's not everything is honest. Not everything is real. If you understand all those things, and most importantly, understand yourself, and you have discipline, and you have understanding how you cope with stress, profits, and gains, then you might have a better chance of doing what I'm doing now. But I will tell you, when I started this 3 years ago, this didn't work for me. It works for me now pretty much. Well, it works 100% of the time. I'm not losing any money at all, whatever. So let me tell you exactly what I'm doing. First of all, I am not trading on my brokerage account. Absolutely not trading on my brokerage account, because if I trade on my brokerage account, it gets a lot more complicated because I'll be paying tax on my gains. Then I'll be looking at taking losses and tax harvesting, got margin to consider, all kinds of other things. So I'm not trading on my brokerage account. My brokerage account, I simply buy the macro dips, keep paying down when the markets are going up. When the markets are going down, I buy the macro dips. Very, very simple. I'm not touching my brokerage account, just simply buying when it goes down, never selling, always holding. Simple. That's my brokerage account. Okay? all of my trading that I'm doing now, making $500. I did it yesterday, and I'm virtually on the road to completing it again today. So that'll be $1,000 in 2 days. I'm doing on my IRA, whether it's your Roth IRA, whether it's your traditional IRA, or whether it's your ISA in the UK, individual savings account. It doesn't matter. I'm trading on my tax-free account. Okay, and that's very, very important. Okay, because I don't want to have to consider making profits and having to pay taxes. Okay, so I'm not having to consider that. Now I understand which account I'm doing it on. What stock or multiples of stocks or what ETF am I going to trade? Well, for me, I have spent the last 3 years honing down my understanding of what's in and how the S&P works, how the markets work, the news works, and everything else. Building relationships online. I understand what's going on behind the scenes. I understand what's going on in front of everybody. It all makes sense to me now. So I am trading the S&P 500. I'm doing it through VU. You could do it through SPY. It doesn't make much difference. Now, I don't mind if it goes up or down. It doesn't matter because I'm a long-term investor. But along the journey, I can trade and make a lot more money than just the expected 10 to 13%, depending on how you measure it. This year, I made about 30% on the S&P. The last couple of days, I'm making a lot more than that. So now I know what stock I want to trade. For me, it's VU, the S&P 500. I wouldn't be doing this on individual stocks. I wouldn't recommend what I'm doing. I certainly wouldn't recommend individual stocks. That's far too risky. Things can happen in seconds. Someone releases some news, and I'm watching the news 12 hours a day. I'm watching it all day long. I enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy this, you don't enjoy research, you don't enjoy all of the information, this is not for you. It also requires patience, discipline, and structure as well. So you've got to have all those things for this to work consistently. Because if you get it wrong once, it kind of negates the gains you've made. So you've got to be 100% consistent with this. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. I don't lose money. I never lose money, and I'm not going to start losing money today. So I don't know something that nobody else does. I don't have any magic sauce. There's no point guessing what's about to happen. All I can do is manage my risk and change and trade the momentum. So we've established that I'm doing it on my IRA. We've established that I'm doing it on the S&P and the S&P alone. Can't be doing it on multiple stocks, far too complicated. One stock, one simple thing, the ETF of S&P, VU, it's all I'm trading. What I'm trying to do is gain $500 a day, which is essentially a share of VU. If I can keep adding another share every day, then without any money at all, without ever paying any taxes, without ever adding any more money until January, where I can add the next round of investment in the IRA, because you can only add currently $8,000 a year. So right now I'm maxed out. I can't add any more money, but I can trade as much as I like for free. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is trade the momentum. Now this would not work in an uptrend when we have earnings coming out, or we've got news that the strike is about to end, or there's peace negotiations about to happen in Israel, or the Fed are about to speak, because then volatility is all over the place. And if it's good news like rate cuts or good earnings or the end of the strike or the end of the war, then the stock is probably going to trend upward. Yes, there'll be ups and downs in between, but generally trend upward. And I just want to ride that out. Okay, I'm not going to try and guess what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. But at the moment, we are in a sideways action. There's lots of news going on. There's nothing to worry about with Nvidia, AI. It's all good news, but until we get more information, the stock really isn't going to take off just yet. It's all bullish. It's great. Jensen is either a very good salesman or he's got a good product. We think he has both, but You know, there's no real change there. We've heard a lot today about what's going on with the new investment in AI, lots of investment with Google and all that other stuff, the funding round, the extra income that's been made. We've heard from Jensen last night reporting on Blackwell and everything else. Not concerned about China, but there's nothing really major going on. Right now, we're just bobbling along sideways. So now is the perfect time to trade and make that $500 a day. So you can't do this unless you fully understand and are up to date with minute-by-minute news. Now, you might say, well, what if I set a stop order to buy it 1% down and sell it 1% up, and buy it 1% down and sell it 1% up? You can do that and then forget all about it. The trouble is, you have to then guess what the right time is to buy, and guess what time is the right time to sell. Now, you can look at the chart and it gives you some indication. That's fine, but as much as I understand charts and much as I appreciate charts, they don't really tell me the news. They don't tell me what's being said live right now. I'm watching and listening to that. So what I'm looking for and what I'm doing is I am setting multiple trades throughout the day, only on my IRA, only on my S&P. And the reason why I keep looking down, because I'm looking at the chart right now. It's getting very close to its next trade. I've traded 3 times already today, so I'm nearly at the $500. What I'm looking for is ultimately the S&P is going up. I've got no problem buying this stock at all. I've got no problem selling the stock at all because there's no tax implication. And remember, even if it goes up, there's always, you know, a sell-off at some point. Nothing goes straight up forever. So if I show you what I mean here, during today, the stock, the S&P 500 VU, has just been essentially going sideways. You can see that there, look. It's just going sideways. Just up and down on its same axis. Not doing very much. People are trading it up and down. It's like what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I am not trying to time the market. I'm not trying to beat the market. I'm just trying to make $100 a trade, something like that, 5 times a day, $500, okay? So I'm looking at it. I don't mind owning it. I don't mind selling it because long term I'm going to keep it anyway. It's only a day trade. It's not going to be out overnight. I am looking for a dip. We are in a dip right now, and it's about the average today. So I can buy back if I'm out. I'm currently just bought in a few moments ago. I'm waiting for it to go back up again. And I set myself a limit order. Now, it's very important to set a limit order to sell all of the shares, all of them. I mean, I've got 50 shares of the S&P, so I'm selling 51, sorry. I nearly got 52, actually. I'm just coming up to that 52. But I sell 51 just to keep it in the account. If you sell all, it changes the way the account looks. Doesn't really matter, but it holds one in there just so you can keep it organized. So I've got an order to sell 51 shares at the moment at 523.24 cents. Now, is that a magic number? Is that a resistance, a support line, some magic number? No, it's not actually. It's just within the bounds of the movement today. I can see where people are buying it. I can see where people are selling it. So it's just inside those two ranges. I'm not trying to get greedy. I'm not trying to beat the market or time the market or anything like that. But I'm not setting it. So on my phone, on my other device, I've got $523.25 as a sell for 51 shares. But I'm not I haven't swiped up. If I just show you what I mean. Don't know if I can get it on camera. There you go. Whoops. This isn't my studio setup, right? There you go. You can see it's that I haven't swiped up. I haven't executed the order because I want to watch it. And while I'm watching it, normally I am, but today I'm talking to you. As I'm watching it, I am watching the Bloomberg terminals. I am listening to the news. I am seeing all the reports. I'm aware that there's no earnings, nothing amazing coming out today, nothing from Jensen today, nothing from the Fed today, no speeches. I'm aware of the Israeli crisis. I'm aware of the strikes. Nothing major is likely to come out in the next few minutes, right? So there's no reason for the stock to explode, no reason for the stocks to sell off, nothing like that. We're just going up and down in this trend. So what I'm watching for is as it passes that sell order, I'm looking for the momentum. So if it, as I'm watching it, as it starts to move, once I go over that one, which is that 1% range, okay? Once it goes over that, then I'll swipe up. What will happen then is I'm guaranteed to get the price I've set as the limit order, so I'm not going to lose money. That number I've put in is a profit, okay? I bought it here, sold it here, and just keep doing that over and over again. So I'm making a profit, but I'm watching it going up, and if it keeps moving, I just hold and hold and hold and hold, and then swipe. The moment I see it drop a little bit, that way I might get 1.5%. If we start a momentum, like right now, we're in a downward momentum at the moment. In a minute, this will stop, and then all of a sudden, people will start buying it up again. That's what's happening, okay? So then I'll sell it all, and then I'll be looking to buy it back again. Now then, you might argue, what if it carries on going up and leaves you behind? Well, this is why you need, because as a long-term investor, the last thing I want is to sell my position in the S&P and it rallies up to 550, 560, and I'm sat chasing the stock. Because if I get it wrong and now I've got to chase the stock, I'm going to lose the benefit I've just gained. Okay, tax-free, but nevertheless, I'm going to lose it, and all the time I just spent was wasted, right? So there's no point doing that. So that's why I'm not doing this on a day when there's not really any news. We're just in a holding pattern at the moment. We're just going sideways until the next catalyst. If you do it on a day, you do it on a catalyst day, something big, like I mentioned. If we get the war end today, or we get a big earnings today, or we get a Fed report today, or we get the jobs report, which is tomorrow, you don't want to be doing this because you might get it wrong. And if you get it wrong once, then it kind of like negates all the times that you got it right, and you might as well just stay where you were. As a long-term investor, long-term investors tend to do better. It's very difficult to win every time. So to win every time, which is what I've been doing since I've been on holiday, is understand the market, understand the current news, don't get greedy, trade within the parameters, don't push it too much, do it on your IRA so you're not paying any tax, and have patience. Now, you just have to wait. Right now, we're in a downtrend. So at the moment, the value of my stocks are going down. Now, what's important is not the value of the stocks right now. That isn't important. What isn't important is what I paid for the stock. That isn't important. It's not important what I sold the stock for either. Because as a long-term investor, all I care about is the stocks that I hold today will be worth more in the future when I need to take the money out and spend it. Okay, I'm not at that position right now. At this moment, I'm trading. Okay, so it doesn't matter. What does matter, however, is acquiring more and more stock. So I started with 50 shares of the S&P when I finished with you on Friday. We did our last show on Friday, whatever day that was. I'm now nearly 52. I'm 51 and a half right now. 51.6. So I'm just about to come up to 52 shares. What's important is that I'm acquiring more and more stock, more and more shares. That way, I'm just going to keep growing in the future. All right. So if there was any big news today or something going on that could change the momentum of the stock, I wouldn't be doing this unless I can, like I did on, was it Monday I did that? when we had yes, it was Monday, when I sold all because I knew there was about to be the invasion from Iran. I knew that would be a negative. There's no way that's ever going to be a positive. Whereas an earnings can beat and markets to sell off. An earnings can miss and the market can go up. Whereas an invasion of a country is a negative because oil is going to spike, which it has, not much because of the way we're structured right now in the US. So that was a very, very safe bet. I mean, that wasn't even a bet, was it? I mean, it was a guarantee that the stock was going to go down. What is a bet is betting how much it's going to go down or shorting the stock, taking gambles, risks. All I did was sell before it hit the headlines and then just buy back, and I got a 2% discount. That wasn't clever. That wasn't difficult. That was just knowing what you're going to do before it happens and not reacting to it, being proactive. You already know if you get an invasion from another country, it's going to drop the stock market a little bit. So you act. You don't wait. You don't think about it. You already know in your mind that's what you're going to do. If you wait, then you kind of you buy when it's sold off, and now you're chasing it up again, and you keep losing money. So obviously you're not going to do that. So other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting. Now, right now, we're in a downtrend. We're at 520.11. I'm waiting to sell at 523.25. But that's just my order. What we'll get probably in the next hour at some point, I don't know when exactly, we'll get another little buy, an opportunity, because that's why the markets are driven down to buy back in again. There's no bad news. Everyone's bullish. We're expecting a 10-20% rally. Wall Street want to trade this, make money. So in a minute, some point this afternoon, it's going to go back up again. Now, I'm already in the stock, so I don't mind. I'm in. I'm not. It doesn't matter if the stock goes down to me, because if it goes down, it won't affect my IRA until January. I can't buy any more. But on my main account, I can buy the dip if it goes low enough. So I don't care if it goes down. I'm not short in the market. I've got no options. There's no risk involved here if it goes down. But I'm looking to sell it at 523.25. That's my limit order. As it passes that, it's starting to go up now. As it passes that, I simply just wait for a bit of momentum. The moment it starts to move down, I swipe it. There is another $100. Then I'm waiting to buy it back down again. Now, you have to have patience. You can't just do it, second by second. You've got to have patience. And by the end of the day, I'll be done, and that's it. Now, the idea is to get $500 a day, which is essentially one share review. And I've done it so far once on yesterday. I've nearly done my second one today, because I'm just coming up to my 53rd share, 52.6. I'm just coming up to my 53rd share. So that's essentially what I'm doing. So this is live trading, only on my IRA, only with one stock, a stock I fully understand. I wouldn't recommend this from anyone unless you really love to watch the news, because you are staring at it all the time. Now, you might say, just set a limit order, walk away, sit on the beach. You can do that, and that's fine, and have a little notification saying you've just bought or just sold, and then you can set another order. You can do that. However, if you do that, you can miss out on massive opportunity, because if you're just sat on the beach and you've just set a limit order, you're not aware of the news. You're not aware what's being said right now. And as it passes your limit order or your limit sell, there could be further downside or further upside, which if you were watching the news and paying attention, you would just push through, and you maybe double your gains or get a double discount, if you like, on the way down. So it does require a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of discipline, and understanding yourself, so you're not going to be fearful, you're not going to be selling out, you're not going to be going, oh my God, what am I doing? I also wouldn't be doing this with a rubbish stock. I wouldn't be doing this with crypto, because anything can fly up, and then fly back down again. I wouldn't do it with an individual stock. I'm doing it primarily well, 100% on the S&P because it's got the best businesses in it. I'm very bullish of the Mag 7. I'm very bullish of Nvidia. So I'm trading Nvidia without trading Nvidia. So I hope that makes sense to anybody. We'll go to questions now and see if anyone's got a question. If everyone could tap the like button, that would be great. If we can try and get up, we've got 79 watching and 33 likes. If we could get 40 likes, that would be amazing. 50% would be brilliant. But that's it. I believe with that strategy, you can make. I'm getting one share. I'm making $500 a day. I'm getting one share of the S&P a day. So that's good, isn't it? Now, if you've not got as much money as I have in my portfolio, remember I started with $5,000, just like everybody else. I built it up to where it is today. If you've only got $10, the same strategy applies. There's no difference. That percentage is that percentage. It doesn't matter whether you've got $1, $1 million, the same strategy applies. However, if you've only got $1, $10, $50, is it worth spending the entire day reading, studying, watching the news? You should probably go for a walk. It probably would be better to go out and not worry about this. For me, $500 a day to sit here and drink a can of Coke, watch the news, read and study, it's worth it. It's worth it. It wouldn't be worth it for $20, $30. It wouldn't be worth it. So you have to make that decision. And like I said before, you can't just do it with limit orders, because if you're doing it with limit orders, you're not aware of the news. You've got no idea what's going on. You're not following the trend as it goes up. You're not paying close enough attention. You shouldn't be doing it with individual stocks because there's too much volatility and risk there, unknowns. Do it with a stock that you want to own and don't mind paying more for it. Before I go to questions, I want to say this, because someone's going to probably ask me this. Doing this means your averages just keep going up. And we always talk about lowering your averages, getting your averages down. Well, this doesn't help with your averages. Your averages just keep going up because ultimately the stock keeps going up, right? I'm never losing. Every trade is profitable. Every time I buy here, I sell for here. Then I buy for here and sell for here, and I buy for here and sell for here and buy for here and sell. So that, but the average keeps going up. Does that matter? Well, when I started it on Friday, I had an average. I was up, I think, 22% in my IRA. My brokerage was over 30%, but in my because of margin. But in my Roth, in my IRA, I was up about 20%. Now I'm up like nothing. I'm zero. So have I lost money? No. My average is just irrelevant, really. The average is just these trades that I'm doing now. Remember, when you buy, it affects your average. When you sell, it doesn't. The average doesn't move when you sell. So if you sell everything and you buy back, you're 0%. You haven't lost or gained. But your overall portfolio, in my case, is up over 20%. So of course I've made money. My IRA, I've made $4,500 in the year and a half I've been doing it. So that's quite good, considering there's no margin and I can't add any more money and so on and so forth. So this is a way to multiply your gains and not lose. Absolutely not lose, because I'm not going to sell for a loss. The only reason why I might want to sell for a loss, and on the S&P there really isn't that reason, is because I think the market is going to go down dramatically, and that is impossible to know. A small correction like we had with the Iran situation, yeah, but I wasn't selling for a loss. I was still selling for profits. Don't ever lose money, and you can't post tax losses by selling for losses on the IRA. So don't think, oh, I'll sell for a loss to offset tax. You're not doing that. And if you start going down that road, then you'll lose the discipline of it all, and you'll be all over the place. You won't know what you're doing. So there's no need to do that, because the S&P will always recover. So just have patience. Don't sell for losses. So always sell for a profit. So your average will be smashed to bits. That doesn't matter. What does matter is your overall portfolio is going up. And the more I can acquire, the more stocks I can get, the faster my growth is going to be and my profit is going to multiply. So that's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm making $500 a day. I've been doing it now for a couple of days. I wouldn't do it on a single stock. It's taken me 3 years to build up the knowledge and the discipline. I couldn't have done this 3 years ago. I am fully aware now of the market manipulation, fully aware of what a Fed report does to a stock. I'm fully aware now of what an earnings report does to a stock, what a war does to a stock. All of these external macro conditions, I'm aware of those things. I also know me much better. I understand the stocks much better. And now I've built up a portfolio where it's worth spending these few hours looking at it. I have to look at it. I have to be listening to the news, the wires, knowing what's going on so I can trade it wisely. So that's how I'm doing it. Let me go to some questions and see what we got. Sensei, did Google call you already? Missing you. Did Google call you? Oil is in the news. I miss Stephen Lewandowski. Did Google call me? What do you mean? Oh, I see. About not making any money on YouTube. Yeah, get back on the show. No, they didn't. Oil's in the news. Yes, oil's in the news. It's going up, but not at the rate we might have expected because of what we have in the US. We've got plenty of supply. It's also... oil's being affected by the strikes as well. There's not so much movement going on as well, so that's worth considering. James 007, Lucas A, please hit the like button. Yes, you are playing the game right. Thank you, Zach Zate. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, it is working. It's very, very consistent. It's not difficult to do. It's very easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. Dylan, good afternoon, Martin. Nvidia is really carrying me today. Nvidia, we've got lots of good news coming out around Nvidia, ChatGPT, AI today. Lots of things brewing. The new funding round. Lots of investment going into AI. Blackwell's on track, and Jensen's getting himself out there and letting everyone know what's going on. So. He would shoot himself in the foot if the earnings wasn't amazing. I think he's told everybody without telling everybody, because remember, a CEO can't say to you, the stock is going to go up. He can't say that. But I think between the lines, that's what he's told you. Anyway, meet Martyn Lucas Investor. How are you? Nice trading you got going on there, Martin. Free share of VU per day. Can't complain at that. That's right. That's it. Just keep acquiring more and more stock. If you only have $10, buy some tea bags and drink lots of tea. That is true. That's another good strategy, James. I certainly recommend that. I don't have an IRA on Robinhood yet. What technically happens to the funds when you sell and waiting to buy back in? Okay. So when I sell on my IRA, let's keep it straightforward, what you just asked. When I sell on my IRA, it goes in the buying power. That's it. There's a report. Every time you buy and sell, there's a report. All of that goes to the IRS. But there's no taxable event. It's just you sold. The only penalty or time it would affect you is if you withdrew the cash. If you withdrew the cash early, because remember, a Roth or an ISA was designed for you to keep the money in the stock. If you withdraw it quickly, then you'll pay tax on it, and also you'll pay back the match that you got from Robinhood, a 3% match. So by selling it, you can sell it 1,000,000 times a day. Nothing happens, so nothing. It just goes in your buying power. It sits there. But because I sell 50 shares and then I buy 50, or I'll buy 51 back, and then I'll sell 51 and buy 52 back without ever adding any money, because the profit, I've got more and more buying power to do more. So if I continue doing this for a year or so, I'm probably going to be able to make $1,000 a day which would be 2 shares of VU. Well, but of course, by that time, the stock's gone up, so whatever, but $2,000 a day. So that's what happens. It goes into your buying power. What's your expire date? What's your expire date? There's no expiry date. Oh, of the trade. Oh, I'm only doing it. Just today. It's just a day trade because I'm only doing this while I can watch what's going on. Now I can do it 24 hours a day. I can do it, before I go to bed. So essentially, I can trade after hours on the S&P. I can set a limit order. I can watch what's going on. But once I go to bed, I cancel it out. So I'm doing it on the 24-hour trade, and I'm doing it, until I go to bed, and then I'll just cancel the order. Because at 2 o'clock in the morning, if there is something that happens, yes, my limit order would go through, and that's fine. It would buy or sell, which is what I want. However, I'm not fully aware of why it's gone through, what's going on in the world, and I want to know what's going on so I've got control over it. Because remember, ultimately, I want to keep my stock. I want to own the S&P forever. But I'm prepared to sell it to be able to buy it back down again, but I have to know what's going on in the world to do that successfully. If I'm just setting a limit order with no expiry date, just letting it go off into the future, I don't know what, tomorrow something else is going to happen. Well, tomorrow, the JOLTS report. Tomorrow, the markets are going to behave very differently. They're not going to go sideways. They're going to be very different tomorrow because they could fly up 10% tomorrow because if jobs comes in good after a period of going sideways, we could rally up. And I want to be in again, not trading that. I just want to be in with that. I'm simply trading when it's going sideways or when I can be very certain of a direction. And the only way you can do that is if, like, Iran invades, a war. So, yeah, no expiry date, just basically when I go to bed. Right, it's going up now. It's got to go up a couple of bucks a share yet before I can do anything with it. It was very close to selling a few moments ago, and now I would have bought back in again. This would have been like my 5th or 6th trade today. But you just got to have patience, and there's no point. Looking at it and thinking, well, I'll just sell it there. I'm not doing this to make $5. I'm doing it to make $100 a trade because that's what my time is worth looking at it. You might say, well, I've made $1 and I'm okay with that. I wouldn't give up being outside and doing other things for $1. Seems you've got to value your own life. So anyway, but if my average goes up, I can't post insane screenshots on Reddit. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if your average goes up, people that don't understand trading, people that don't understand the stock market and what real profit is, yeah, they're all about look at my average. And yeah, there are people all over Reddit going, I'm up 300%. That doesn't mean you've made 300%. Your last trade, you could have lost 300%. You might have made 300%, and now you lost, and then you gained, and now you haven't got the tax to pay for the 300% you gained in the first place. And because you bought back and lost the second time, you can't apply that against your tax and get a tax loss because you can't because you did it wrong. So you end up having to pay the tax. And now at the end of the year, you've got no money. So yeah, people on Reddit who don't have a clue what they're doing would love to share averages and make themselves look important, but in fact they've got no money. That's not important, right? Tim Rogers, Martyn, I'm glad you are telling your audience that this isn't for everyone. No, it absolutely is not for everyone. You have to know the stock you're trading with. You have to know yourself. You have to be prepared to put the time in. Limit orders are a tool, but they're not the way to execute it. I'm simply using that tool when I see it going past the point I want. I'm also reading the news. I'm watching the wires all the time until I go to bed. All around the house, I've got screens and information, so I'm aware of what's being said, what the breaking news is before it happens. That's how I traded the Iran attack before it was on the main news. The moment it was on the Bloomberg wires, I was trading it I had sold it, and then time it hit the news, it went down 2%. I bought it back. All right, so yeah, it's not for everyone. This approach is only for a real investor who loves the art of finance and watch the news 12 hours a day. Good luck. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to love the world of finance. You have to follow the news. There's no shortcut. There's no easy, I am not going to lose money. I'm 100% going to make profit. But it requires discipline and structure. And, I'm excited because we're getting some momentum. I might be able to do it live on air in a moment. I'm just waiting for the next move. It's getting quite close, and you'll see me do it live, and that'll be another $100 towards the 500. What's your thoughts on holding money in banks versus investing in Bitcoin? Well, holding money in a bank is a silly idea, because the only reason why we do that is because we were told that by our parents and our grandparents, put money in the bank. Because, like I've explained before, and I've had the great fortune to travel all over the world, to every country of the world, you are where you're born. If you're born in America, you're probably a Christian, the chances are. If you're born in India, you're probably a Hindu. That doesn't mean that God is right, that God is wrong. It's because where you're born. If you're born in America, you probably play American football. England, you probably play soccer. So where we're born is what we learn, okay? And we were told by our grandparents and our parents, put the money in the bank. That is no longer the right approach. Science and knowledge is all about constant challenging questions and learning, not blind faith. It's studying and always challenging. And if we study, we know that putting money in the bank is not a good idea. It's just a faith if your parents told you to do that. So putting money in the bank is a silly idea. The only benefit is the bank. The bank want you to give them your money, because they lend it out 10 times, and then what do they give you? Nothing at all. There's nothing the bank provide me at all. I have no money in the bank whatsoever. So let's not do that. Put money versus Bitcoin. Well, I can't compare a bank to a Bitcoin, because that's completely different. One, you put your money in the bank and it just depreciates over time due to inflation, so it doesn't do anything. Buying Bitcoin is a gamble of no fundamental value, and you're just hoping that everyone's going to buy it in the future. If they don't, it goes down. If they do, it goes up. That's just gambling. So the bank is just a holding place to depreciate your money. Bitcoin is a casino. Not the same thing at all, so I can't compare those at all. Zach say, I'm finding myself taking to Meta AI on the phone about all stocks questions. Try it, amazing tool. I don't enjoy Facebook at all. I don't use Facebook at all. I haven't got time for Facebook. Facebook takes time, doesn't bring me any benefit. So I won't be doing that. Appreciate the suggestion, but I won't be wasting my time doing that. The classic Kana. Hi, Sensei. Is Sensei in the chat? I didn't see Sensei. He was here. I didn't see Sensei. Did he pop in? I don't know. I didn't see Sensei. I see. Sensei says Nvidia needs a trend over 125. That's correct. Yes, it does. From a chart point of view, it needs to break the 128 to push through the 130. Correct. Purely on a trending basis, purely on a trading basis. But again, I don't make my investments based upon what the chart is doing. I make my investments upon what the business is earning, what it's making, what's going on in the world. So as far as I'm concerned, I own Nvidia through the S&P. I'm simply trading the momentum on my IRA. But he's right there. It needs to break through. If it keeps hitting that 128 and getting 125 and getting rejected, then it more likely will go lower. But until the earnings, and then it will go up anyway. So I do agree with that. William, hi. Any comment on Costco now selling platinum? I haven't got any thoughts on Costco selling platinum. I do think Costco is a great business. I think Costco is a good investment to make. It does very well, and it's going to continue to do well and probably do better next year. So I like Costco. I own it through the S&P, right? Good evening to all, says Team Fusion. Good evening to you. Thank you. One of my sponsors is here today. Go and check out Team Fusion. We're just on my mobile phone. I can't do the usual sponsorship today, but I appreciate your continued support. Good afternoon, Team Fusion. Hi, James. How are you, buddy? James, if you're thinking about getting married, please contact Charlotte May Weddings. Absolutely right. Vanessa, good afternoon, all. This message is held for review. What was that there? Dollar cost averaging. Subscribe to the channel. Why on earth would YouTube think that was a bad comment? So, dollar cost average, I've just shared your comment. Isn't that weird? I didn't hide that. YouTube did. Drew Redmond, is an IRA like a TFSA? I'm from Canada. I don't know the Canadian tax rules, so I can't comment. Most countries have their own tax-free investment strategies. In the UK, it's ISA, individual savings account. In America, it's a Roth IRA, or traditional. I prefer a Roth every time. Canada, I'm sure, would have a similar structure. I don't know what that is. I can't comment, but I'm sure you could find that out. I'm sure your brokerage will have it. I'm good, says James. Tax-free savings account, Drew Redmond. If it's a tax-free savings account, most tax-free savings account allow you to run a brokerage through them. Be able to buy and sell stocks through them. CyberX, do you think Nvidia will go up this month? Absolutely. The earnings is going to be fantastic. There's no question about that in my mind whatsoever. Most stocks seem like they're going to fluctuate this month. Stocks, the S&P is going sideways for all the reasons I've already given many times. And that's going to continue. We'll get volatility tomorrow with the JOLTS report. How's the break going, Martin? Team Fusion, it's going very well. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for asking. Right, I think I've covered all the comments. So I'm going to get off and if you've just tuned in, just to recap what we're talking about. I'm on vacation at the moment, and I just popped in on my phone just to say hello. This is my mobile setup. I'm just sat here having a Coke, and I'm sharing with you how I'm making $500 a day, and I'll just recap that for you. Excuse me. Cheers, everybody. So, let me just recap. If you could tap the like button above my head, that would be great, or wherever you find it. That would be great. So, if I could just recap what I'm doing here. I'm trading because I can't do it as much on the show as I can here now. On the show, I'm going to try, and when I come back, do live trading again like I used to. I know a lot of people would like to see me do it, but it requires a little bit more. It's hard to do when I'm entertaining and I'm dealing with everybody. Mind you, I'm doing it now, but maybe I can. Anyway, that's something I want to look at for season 4, live trading. Be absolutely clear. I could not have done this 3 years ago. I would not have been successful 3 years ago. This is not for everyone. Okay? The reason why I keep looking down is I'm watching my next trade getting very close. My goal is to earn $500 a day trading, and I'm doing it. I've been doing it now for the last few days, and I'm being successful doing it. I haven't lost money since January. I won't ever lose money again. Absolutely not. I'm only doing it on my IRA, not my brokerage account. That would involve taxes and other calculations, margin, and all the rest of it. So I'm not doing it on my brokerage account. I'm only doing it on my IRA, where I can trade for free as much as I want, and there's no tax to pay, no tax harvesting to consider, nothing like that. Every trade is a profitable trade. I'm only doing it on the S&P because I understand that stock. I don't mind paying more for that stock. Remember, it's not how much you pay for the stock. It's not how much you sell the stock for. That's important. It's where you end up. All right? And if you just keep doing profitable trades and then keeping hold of the stock and always being in dividend, ex-dividend date, and then you're always going to make money. Never lose money. Rule number one. You can't just do it with setting limit orders. If you set limit orders, it's fine. Yes, you can say, okay, buy it, buy it when it's 1% down, sell it when it's 1% up, buy it when it's 1% down, sell it one. You can do that. But if you're doing that, you're not aware of why you're doing it. You have to be watching the news, reading the wires, paying close attention. Only certain days you'll do this, when the stocks are going sideways, not when there's a JOLTS report tomorrow, not when there's an earnings tomorrow, not when we're about to get a Fed report, because no one knows whether the stock's going up or down. No one does. We get a good earnings, stocks go down. We get a bad earnings, stocks go up. That's because people trade them. Maybe they didn't exceed expectations. Maybe a rate cut is good, but the stocks go down because maybe it was too much of a rate cut. There's no way to know what the stock market is going to do. So to try and do it on big momentous news is gambling and all the rest of it. I'm not interested in gambling. Consistent profits, always making money, never losing money. So to do that, I'm trading the S&P because I understand it. I understand me. I understand my emotions to it now. I understand what it feels like to win, to lose. I've been margin called. I've had ups and downs. I've learned all of those things. And now I'm in a place where I can trade like this and make consistent profits. Okay? And it doesn't matter how much money you've got. $1, $1 million, the same applies. If you've only got $1 though, you probably haven't learned and experienced enough to be able to do this consistently, because you've not been through all the different things that you have to go through to come out the other end. But that's what I'm doing. So right now I'm in between a trade. I would have bought where we were a couple of minutes ago, but I'm currently waiting to sell. So it's one trade at a time. I'm waiting for the stock. The S&P VU is at the moment 521.21. I want it to pass 523.25 cents. That'll be $100 more. That $100 profit from where I bought it a few hours ago. As it passes, I've got a limit order, so I'll make sure I pay at that's the maximum I'll pay, because remember the stocks move. But I will wait, manually watch it. If I see it moving up as I'm watching the news, as I'm hearing what's being said on the news, I can go, okay, it's going to keep running for a few minutes, keep watching it, and then I'll swipe, and then it will go through at the limit price, but it will go better, because Robinhood will always get you the better price. If I'm setting a limit order for 523.25 and I set it now, the moment it hits that, that's what I'm going to get. Whereas if I sit and wait and study and watch and read and listen, as it passes 523.25, which it will at some point, maybe it will be today, maybe it will be just before I go to bed tonight, maybe it'll be tomorrow, whatever. It doesn't matter. When I go to bed tonight, I'll cancel the order and do it again tomorrow. I want to see what's going on, and then as it passes, and I think, okay, leave it, hold. Okay, go. I'll swipe it. I'll take that money. Now I've sold it. Now I'm looking to see it go down. Now you might say, well, what if it carries on going and going? The S&P is going to go up and up, right, in the future. Now you've got to chase the stock. No, because I'm doing it in between these events. There's no reason why the S&P is going to suddenly shoot up in a minute 20%. There's no Fed report. There's no election. There's no breakthrough coming in the next few minutes, next hours, with the war or with the strike, any of those things. So I'm safe to be playing this game. Once we get near one of those moments, then I am back in again. Always in, not out, because it's like, well, you say, well, don't you want to get out if we suddenly say we're going to war? No, because I don't know what's going to happen until I know the news. I can't guess the news. So I always want to be in whatever news is coming, and then I want to be able to make a decision from that. I need to know. I need information. I don't guess. I don't gamble. All right? So right now, as I end this with you, I'm waiting for the next trade. As soon as we get to 523.25, which will come, if it comes tomorrow, it comes tomorrow. I'll be out of this by the time I go to bed. I'm not gonna be doing it 24 hours a day. Once I go to bed, I cancel the order. Once it goes to 523, I'll watch the momentum. If I don't see any momentum and I don't see any reason for it to keep going, I just take the trade, and then I'm looking to buy it down from there. And the point of that is if I bought it here and sell it here, it doesn't matter if I buy it back here. Doesn't matter. As long as I buy it less than I've just sold it, I'm going to end up with more and more of the stock, more and more. And the idea is by the end of today, I want to be at 53 shares of the S&P. I was at 51 on Friday. I want to be at 53. That's 2 more shares by the end of the day. But I've got to be patient. It might not happen today. Maybe the stock will just keep going down today and I can't sell it. That's fine. Relax. Give it up. Go out. Forget all about it. We'll try again tomorrow. And that's it. Keep doing that consistently in my IRA, not my brokerage account, and my portfolio is going to keep growing, and I'm going to exceed the $1 million by the end of the decade. And it's fun because I enjoy it. It will be a good addition to the show, I'm sure, in season 4. If I can manage to trade live like this, as well as doing everything else, it will add an extra element to the show. So there you go. That's what's happening. Final questions, and then I'm off. Let's have a look. Cheers, Martin. Cheers. Good evening in the UK. Tan Pek Hong, good evening to you. Let's have a look. Drew said, I made a call for Nvidia to 125 that expires tomorrow. Should I sell it and reset for the morning? Drew Redmond, I am not the person to talk to about options trading. I understand enough of it, but not enough to advise you. I don't believe in options. I don't see any reason to do options. Options is gambling. Options is guessing. Options is making predictions. I don't do that. I just look at the news, look at the facts, make the calculations, and buy when it's down, sell when it's up, maintain my position in. Overnight, I shut everything down. I'm always in again. So I don't see any reason to do options. I'm making money without it. I think it's too much gambling, making predictions. It's not for me. There are others here in the channel on Discord or Sensei on Sunday who would talk to you about options. I can't give you anything that would be of help. I'm sorry about that. Zach say, Martin, all phones have been upgraded with AI Helper. It's amazing for any questions you have, and you can train it to know you better. Try it for you and the show. Okay, send me some suggestions on how I would use it. I can't really think of anything because I don't want anything to become automatic. This is a real show, really me sitting here talking to you, real emotions, real person. My tweets are my own, my thoughts are my own, my comments are my own. Don't see much point in an AI doing anything for me, quite frankly. I don't see any reason to use it, but educate me and maybe I'll change my mind. Morning all, Go DB. Go DB, welcome to you. I would love to listen to Martin answers compared to AI helpers. Miss you guys, miss you all too. Yes, let's go. Go DB. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, James. Tan Pek Hong in the house. Yes, great to see him here. Hi, Martin. So next Nvidia will be in the 2029. When will it hit 800? Where will it be in 2029? No one can make those predictions. I've got a good idea where it will be by the end of the year, within 12 months, on the basis of earnings and facts and numbers and balance sheets. But 2029, I mean, what? I have no idea. Just make up a number. Anyway, about the split. There's no confirmation of a split from Nvidia. There's rumors that it'll split, but there's no. We can't calculate that. It doesn't exist yet. Have a good vacation. Love the short form update. Thank you, GoDB. Doug, I think by next year, March, Nvidia will be at $4.50 a share. No, not at all. There's no calculation or reason why it could get to that amount at all. Anyway, I'm going to go. I was hoping that I would do a live trade on air for you. $500 a day, one share of the S&P every day, not losing money, always making money. Do it wisely, do it responsibly. And I'm in between a trade. It's very close. It's only got to push another 0.5%, and I can do my next trade on the S&P and keep doing it all the way to $1 million. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Tap the like button. I'll see you back live in the morning. Thanks for joining me this morning. Those of you that did join me this morning, live every morning on the music channel, the party channel, links below this channel, on the music channel, Martyn Lucas. Every morning I have a song come out, and every day it's slightly more people watch than the time before. Today was Pete Burns, Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round. Thank you for tuning in. It was slightly more popular than yesterday. Yesterday was Elvis, which was slightly more popular than The Fear by Lily Allen, which was slightly more popular than Keen, which was the first one on Monday. The most popular one overall is Lily Allen so far, the most views, but I'm talking about in the first, like it sort of rates it in the first hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. This morning was better again. So thank you very much indeed for joining me every morning. The purpose of it, not only does it keep the music channel alive, it's a bit of fun. If you join in the live chat as it premieres, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, the chat is live and you can all come in and say hello. I come in every morning and say hello, who's with me. And most mornings, most people miss the live chat and I don't speak to anybody. But I'm always there, just saying hello in the morning with a cup of tea. I think James joined me this morning. And you get about 8 minutes because I talk a little bit, then the song, talk a little bit. So there's 8 minutes, so you can just sort of say what's going on in the news quickly in the chat. It's quite a nice way to catch up. So anyway, there you go. I'm looking forward to Adele Skyfall. Yep, that'll be out soon. What's up next? I can't think what's coming up next. It might be tomorrow. No, I think there's another Elvis tomorrow. I think Return to Sender tomorrow. Yeah, I think Return to Sender. And then there's nothing over the weekend, back on Monday. So anyway, that's it. What time is that in the UK? Well, if you look at the video, it tells you in your time zone what time it goes live. And essentially, it's the same time as the opening bell show. Always the same time. Always the same time. 7:30 Central, which is 8:30 Eastern, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 1:30 in the UK, I think. 1:30 in the UK. But it will tell you on your time zone, if you click on it for tomorrow, you'll see what time it goes live. Anyway, that's it. I think we're all good. Please subscribe. Thank you, James. See you all back in the morning for another channel, for another live premiere. Or if there's anything new, of course, it's the Jolts report tomorrow. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Get ready for some volatility. I'm hoping to be able to sell this. I'm sure I'm going to get another in the power hour, that 5:23.25 push through there, sell, and then the moment it does that, I'm sure in the after hours we'll get a little bit of a drop and I'll be able to buy it back less than I just sold it for, and I'll be ready for the Jolts report in the morning, and hopefully by the morning I should have 53 shares of the S&P of VU on my IRA. I would have gained 2 since Monday, which would be great. That's it from me. Thanks ever so much. Love you all, and see you back tomorrow for another live premiere or news if it pops up here on my phone. Bye bye for now.